What a week it has been, ladies and gentlemen, and we are capping it all off for the first prime of Season 7. I'm Troublemaker Chloe James at your service for this evening, bringing it on home for the debut week of Season 7 of the All-Star Call League. And tonight, we have an Eliminator Tag Team Idol match here tonight as Kira Yoshikage and Hazama of the Heinlein Legacy take on the Phantom Thieves here tonight. But not only that, we will have an additional World Title Eliminator match as Guts will take on Kanji Tatsumi in your main event to decide if Guts will face Kanji at Rebound. But we are kicking things off tonight for Prime here tonight for the season with Sky High action. As Takumi, a massive member of the Sky High division, looks to face off and make a mark right here tonight to start off this season off right against someone who has definitely been in a road of redemption this past season. But Takumi for certain is looking to make a massive mark as we have a new Sky High champion in Terra, who trounced Ken Kaneki, the Tokyo Ghoul, the dominant Tokyo Ghoul as it were, in action at the Grand Slam back in December. So one has to wonder tonight, between these two men, between Takumi and the man who has definitely been on a road to redemption in Season 6, Black Star here tonight is looking to make it clear that yes, indeed, he's looking to make things fair this season. And given the fact that he was in the corner of Tsubaki at the Grand Slam, who came out on top in the end against Utena Tenjo on the Lioness Live roster, one has to wonder here tonight, is Black Star ready to make that next step? Is he potentially going to be next up for contention for the Sky High Championship finally on fair terms? He did have a few chances last season against Ken Kaneki, but it was never one-on-one for the Sky High Championship. In fact, he has not had a one-on-one contendership for the Sky High title since his days in Spiral. So one has to wonder, is he finally going to be back in contention without any other factors in the mix? Potentially here tonight for the both of these men, this could be a start for both of them here tonight to get back into that contention. And we're kicking it off right now. And immediately right off the bat, showcasing that same level of skill, that same level of arrogance right there by Black Star. But really, that wasn't exclusive to his time when he was a member of Spiral. That realistically has always been there for Black Star. He's been cocky, he's been arrogant since the very day he walked into the building, but he's always been able to back it up. As we are seeing right here tonight, as he is reversing everything that Takumi, the sniper of Hoshido, has been able to muster up against him so far in this contest. But realistically, he's been having limited moves in his own right, and just showcasing just basic strikes against Takumi, who on the other hand, has been going for high-risk maneuvers, especially with that roundhouse, but has had nothing to really show for it in the opening rounds of this contest. Meanwhile, Black Star looking for something big here. Oh my god, the stomp on the side. Letting it all loose for the word go here tonight. Black Star is not leaving any room for Takumi to breathe here tonight. And in typical Sky High fashion, going up to the top of the rope for an elbow drop right there. And already going for the pin. Only getting a one onto Takumi, however. But this could also be, I was about to say, this could also backfire hard. And a springboard forearm right there by Takumi, a hard-hitting strike. Only netting a 1 count right there onto Black Star just like that. Going for the flurry of strikes and wailing onto him with those punches right to the head of Black Star here tonight. Oh, God. And that ripcord knee strike just keeping him in place. The strong strikes right there by the sniper of Hoshino, immediately just putting it into place that yes indeed, he is not hard to pin down, but he is hard hitting as well. The tide simply turning on Black Star in an instant here tonight. And once again, those hard hitting knees right to the skull of Black Star here tonight. But if there's anything that Black Star has shown, is that he is hard to keep down. And that is being shown in full force right here tonight. But it's not looking good as Takumi is throwing it to the outside, going right up to the outside, and a stomp right down with it. And right there, the elevation as well really is wailing down onto Black Star with those strikes to the chest and draping him over the barricade, and a big boot right to the skull for good measure. Referee, however, making sure they're aware they need to bring it right back into the ring as soon as they can. And right at the 5 count, Black Star picking up Takumi just like that. Oh! Only on match 1 and we've already got a bleeder right here tonight. But even when he's bleeding, only getting a 2 count. Only getting a 2 count right there for Black Star. And working the head, the bloodied up head of Takumi just like that. That's already going to be a big offset right there for the sniper. But one thing you need to take into account with this one as well is that Takumi has definitely taken a lot of damage to the head, but he's also got to take into account the fact that his knees, those knees are definitely going to become quite a disadvantage if he takes too much damage there, because remember, the sniper shot relies on the arms and the legs in order to make sure you can get onto the top rope. You get rid of those, you basically get rid of most of Takumi's offense right then and there. And meanwhile, Black Star setting Takumi up to the top of the rope. And what on earth is he thinking here? Setting him up to the top. And, oh, God. German right there. And an elbow drop for good measure. Following it up with a pin. 1, 2. And only getting a 2 count with that one there. Following it up with a standing moonsault right there, styling on Takumi right here and now, but only getting the 2 once again. Trying to follow it up with a run-up axe handle, and no! Takumi, on the other hand, with a springboard leg drop just like that, and following it up with those forearms right to the face, and a backhand for good measure. Following it up with combinations with kicks to the gut and a strike right to the forehead as well. And looking to deliver some punishment right to Black Star's head in return. Giving him a receipt and then some for everything in regards to this match. Trying to get that combination of strikes going, and a forearm right there by Black Star. It's not looking good for Takumi here. I'll say that here and now. It is not looking good for the sniper of Hoshino. Crossbody, however, by Black Star, keeping Takumi down right onto the mat. And right there, the assault by Takumi has been completely neutralized by Black Star within short work here tonight. And Black Star is taking full advantage of that and then some. But no, Takumi gets back out of it just like that. And wait a minute. What on earth is he thinking of? Oh, God, setting him into place with that knee right to the face. 1, 2. But only a 2 count just like that. But he's going right back into the assault just like that. And really, Takumi has been breaking out all levels of assault right here, trying to keep Black Star down. Black Star, however, has been has been going full force from the word go here tonight. And if he's thinking what I think he's about to hit, it might be game, set, match right there. But Takumi, soul reaping cutter, laying Takumi down flat. That might be it. 2. And it's only a 2 count. Takumi is right back up, but he gets right back down with an enziguri right there by Black Star. Black Star has had an answer for everything Takumi has thrown at him. And then some here tonight. But even after the soul reaping cutter, that is still not enough to keep down the sniper of Hoshido. And that is saying something here tonight. Black Star has to be thinking, what do I have to do to keep him down? Lunging dropkick just like that right there by Black Star. He's practically begging at this point. What do I gotta do? What do I have to do to keep him down? And a frog splash from the top of the rope may be part of that. 1, 2. And Black Star is just still considering all options at this point. Takumi is looking bad here, but he's still managing anything that he can in order to survive. He's still going for those hard-hitting strikes however he possibly can. Going right back. No! Takumi thought to have gone for that German suplex combo. That bridging German suplex combination that he would follow up into the sniper shot. But Black Star having an answer for damn near everything tonight. Once again showcasing he does in fact have it. And then some, and no! Black Star, on the other hand, going right for it again. No, rebounding off the ropes. Mistimed it, and then some. And Black Star could be looking bad right here and now if he's not careful. And once again, the Pele right there by Black Star. Blocking Takumi off and rolling out from the outside. Great use of the ring position, and then some. Takumi's back up, however. And an arm drag setting Takumi right back down. Black Star, on the other hand, going right back up to the top. And he's thinking, downward spiral tap. 1, 2, 3. Sealing the deal right here tonight with a downward spiral tap. The move he rarely pulls out unless he's desperate enough to end it at this point, because we all knew what that move meant from back in the day. And yet here tonight, it pulls him out the win and then some on a night where he needed it the most. Black Star definitely showcasing he's still got the skill and then some. And making a mark on the first match of the evening and the first match for Prime of the season in general. One has to wonder if this is a tone setter for him. And we are back here tonight for Prime 137. And we are welcoming back here tonight into the fold for the Prime brand A duo of which made their mark on their first outings here in the All-Star Grand Slam, welcoming them home right here tonight after coming back at the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, you know them, you love them. You can't take your heart without them. It's Joker and Skull, the Phantom Thieves. Returning to Prime as part of the draft, ladies and gentlemen, you have to wonder if Joker and Skull, having had a few seasons on the Millennium brand, are taking notice of the changing landscape here on Prime, and maybe as an omen of their own, saw what has gone on over the last few seasons here and said, hey, this is probably for the best that we come back and deal out the damage and put out some justice right here on Prime. Again, I can't personally speak for them, but if I were in their position, that is probably what I would be thinking after seeing what's been happening the last few seasons, especially last season with how chaotic it got. But Joker and Skull, the Phantom Thieves, are former tag team champions here on Prime, had several chances to do so, but given the situation with the Millennium Tag Team title scene, it's unsurprising that they are not in the club of people who are both Millennium and Prime Tag Team champions. However, they could be on track to become two-time Tag Team champions if they win here tonight and face off against these two men in an Eliminator match. But the two men in particular that you see in front of you right now, Hazama and Kira Yoshikage, being led to the ring by their master, as it were, in Kain Heinlein, who's coming off a very unsuccessful Grand Slam in his own right against Rock Howard. You know for a fact here tonight that Kira and Hazama have to be very much on high tension here tonight, given the stakes involved in this Eliminator match, as well as given what it means for the entirety of the Heinlein Legacy after going from failure to failure after last season's finale. Especially after not being able to rid themselves, supposedly in their own words, of Kain's nephew and nemesis for the Heinlein Legacy for the entirety of last season in Rock Howard. One has to wonder tonight if that is going to play a role in the overall success or failure of Hazama and Kira here tonight, as the two get set to potentially vie for tag team title contention at Rebound against the current champions in Davis Motamiya and Takumi of the Digidestined. Although the look on the both of these men here tonight says that they're all business here tonight, one has to wonder if this is how long that mood will last, given everything that is circling here tonight. I mean, you can cut the tension between these two in their entrance alone like a hot knife through butter. And here we go, tag team title eliminator match here tonight. Joker and Skull and the Phantom Thieves taking on Kira and Hazama of the Heinlein Legacy. And immediately after putting Joker into the corner like that, Hazama is already tagged in, and it may already be a bad omen on the part of the Heinlein Legacy, as Joker is immediately taking advantage of the situation. And Kira attempting to intercept it on the outside and mistiming it. Already the Heinlein Legacy is in a bad way here tonight in this contest. And they cannot afford any level of being able to be at this point of being at a mistimed perception. As you can plainly see, I know I mentioned it beforehand, but Kira Yoshikage had a loss to Nekomaru Nidai before being drafted to the Millennium brand at the draft just a few weeks ago. And you can definitely tell, you have to imagine, and that is immediately fresh in the mind of Heinlein, as he's already attempting to go for those same tactics that he pulled back at the draft and attempting to help out his supposed compadres in the ring right now and trying to gain victory. Meanwhile, Hazama, on the other hand, is already immediately going for those hard-hitting strikes and getting nothing for it. Meanwhile, Skull, being tagged in by Joker just a minute ago in that regard, is attempting to go whole hog in the middle of the ring right now against Hazama in order to try and end this one as early as possible. But Hazama, ever the brute that he is already trying to brutalize and completely decimate Skull right here tonight in this contest. And currently it is still realistically any of their game at this point here, but Kain being tagged back in, being properly given a go in this contest now against Skull, and going right for those pot shots right there. And oh god, he's breaking out that same level of assault we saw at the draft, going for the forearms right to the back of the Skull, clubbing Skull's skull, if you were, with those forearms right to the head. And Skull drop kicking him right back down, trying to take advantage of the situation even after that vicious assault. Throwing him right back down, going for the pin, only getting a 1, however. Currently, it is not looking good for the Heinlein Legacy. But Kira managing to get out of the way of a tope over the rope right there by Skull. And Skull, on the other hand, no! Getting it reversed right there and there. And it's not looking good at this point. But Kain hoping to try and find some way of being able to reverse it just like that. Trying their best to reverse their fortunes, but Skull, on the other hand, Schoolboy right into that super kick combination right there. Ow! And a standing Shiranui just like that right there by Skull. And making the tag right back to Joker, sending him into the ring right now. What on earth does he have planned? Oh, and a big boot right there by Skull. Joker making sure. And wait a minute, what on earth are they thinking here? Thinking that we saw a distraction on the part of Kain right there, trying to make sure that he could get a distraction on that part. Joker instead going right for the leg on the part of Kira Yoshikage. And Hazama getting a drop kick right for his efforts. And Joker focusing right back onto Kira just like that, and a snap German, bridging it into the pin. Only getting a 2, however. And the assault continues on the part of Joker, and no! But Kira on the other... No! Kira getting reversed, thrown right into the corner. And you have to imagine that Joker has to try and take advantage of the situation while they've got the lead right here and now. And... oh! Suplexing him right into the corner just like that. And Kain distracting Joker, trying to keep him off, trying to throw him off his game how he can in order to get Kira some time to recover. And Kira barely getting any time out of this contest to be able to get back into it. Then again, Skull getting the tag in by Joker. And it's not looking good for Kira as the punishment continues. Following it up with another pin attempt, but Kira, as if defiantly trying to ensure that nothing happens in that regard, is throwing back everything that Skull is giving him now. Almost as if playing around with him at this point, throwing him into the corner, knowing he has to make that tag sooner rather than later. Making the tag right back to Hazama, bringing him right back into the fold with this here. Linking him right back up, and oh! God. Shoulder tackle onto the knee. And reeling him down with those forearm assaults and the combination of strikes and a knee right to the face onto Hazama. By Hazama onto Skull, and it is not looking good for Skull at this point. He is trapped in that corner, and if he manages to get in, and if Hazama manages to get him into the corner just like that, it may be game over just like that if the Heinlein Legacy do in fact have their way. And no Joker, not reading the situation well, realizing he could have tagged in. And no, Skull managing to get out of it just in the nick of time, just like that. Setting it up with a leaping DDT just like that. But Hazama is right back up and at him just like that. But Skull once again reversing everything, and oh God! Springboard forearm right there. And wait a minute, no Captain's Order! Captain's Order just like that! 2! The fans here tonight are chanting tag team wrestling, and I have to agree! Tag team wrestling right here tonight, and an awesome contest between these two. Hazama surviving a captain's order right there by Skull from out of nowhere. But one has to wonder if surviving that would be enough here tonight to survive what comes next. Because I think if Hazama is looking bad, has got bad things in mind for Skull at this point, and Kira's right back into the ring, which can mean only one thing. It's not looking good for him. Headbutts and forearms galore onto the skull of... onto the head of Skull, I should be saying. I feel like saying skull is kind of redundant at this point here. And oh! God, bites the dust! No! Joker saved Skull from bites the dust. I'm pretty sure if he didn't break that up, it would have been game, set, match just like that. But Kira's right back onto that brutish assault just like that. Skull is trying everything he can. Bring it right back into their corner now, making the tag to Joker. Flinging him right back into the corner. Joker has probably got some things in mind here in order to turn the tide against Kira and the rest of the Heinlein Legacy here tonight. Salting him right into the corner, stomping him down just like that, and the boot wash just like that. Oh, and a big boot right to the head by Joker onto Kira Yoshikage just like that. But Kira still trying to find anything in order to get the win! And choking him out on the floor just like that. Kira is just being relentless here tonight. Really, honestly, if we can be honest, Kira Yoshikage is certainly pulling the weight of the Heinlein Legacy right here tonight. Hazama definitely has been trying his best, but Kira has most certainly been the one denominator who has definitely been showcasing the most brutal aspects of combat here tonight. And he's showcasing it once again as he just goes right for those forearms onto Joker. But Hazama, on the other hand, the tag is made into their corner, and it is not looking good for Joker right here and now. And Joker being flung right into the corner here. Oh God, being put right up top. Joker, on the other hand, starting it off. Getting out of there. Flinging Hazama over the ropes just like that. And a drop kick right to the outside for good measure as well. Really, currently, it has been all Phantom Thieves on the word go here tonight. And I don't think that's really changed all that much in this contest for what we've been seeing up until this point. The Phantom Thieves have definitely faltered in a few aspects. It has certainly felt like in a few areas that they were a little bit worried at one point or another. But they have taken back control of this match almost as quickly as they lost control of this match. And Joker is definitely taking that into account with this here. And he could be, oh God, busting open Hazama just like that. And they could be looking to seal it off right here tonight. Grand Heist! Grand Heist hitting the target right here and now. Skull, on the other hand, distracted right there by Kira. Kira once again sticking his nose into this match and then some. And it's not looking good as Hazama goes right back onto the strikes. And making the tag once again to Kira Yoshikage. It is not looking good here for Skull at this point in time. And no! Skull getting out of it. Skull getting out of it once again. Setting it up. Setting him up for a modified power slam just like that. And Skull realizing his chance right here and now. Getting rid of Hazama for the opposition. Kira's back up, but wait a minute. Captain's order for a second time. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. And just like that, just in that one moment, Joker and Skull are right back into contention for the Prime Tag Team titles, and they will meet Ty and Davis, the Digidestined, for the Tag Team titles at Rebound in a few weeks from now. But you can definitely see on the outside there that Kain, Hazama, and Kira are just fuming. Oh God, Kain's coming into the ring. What's going on here?
This was not how it was meant to go. This was meant to be my big victorious speech to claim my victory over Rock. And instead, that boy is still here.
Aren't you meant to be the conquering leader for us to follow? Why is the onus put on us, huh?
It's almost as if we've been your little bodyguards this entire time, hasn't it? You don't gotta answer that. We already know it's the truth. But that's just fine, see? We knew when you lost to Rock that you were on the outs of us as a group. Can't exactly have a leader who can't even complete his own mission statement, can we?
I don't understand. What the hell are you two maniacs saying?
I don't know how to tell you this easily, old man. So I won't. You're out.
What in the hell is the meaning of this mutiny?
Why? Look around, you fool! You brought us all together to wreak havoc, and you had us chasing after one mere boy for a full year. What do you think was going to happen? That we wouldn't grow tired of your incessant failures? That we wouldn't be bored being your little protective shield? That we would want someone more ghoulish?
More ghoulish? What the hell are they? What the? Wait, what? What the hell are we seeing here? That's Ken Kaneki! But what? Oh my dear God. Don't you dare tell me that Kain has been ousted for Ken Kaneki! I think for the way that these two are cheering him on, I think the statement isn't clear. Kira Yoshikage and Hazama have said, Kain, you're out. Ken, you're in. And look at them, they're cheering on. They are just loving this. And Ken is just looking at his new team. Jesus Christ, if we thought the Heinlein Legacy was worse enough, what the hell is this trio gonna be doing here on Prime?
Spare me your excuse.
Oh, I'm just... Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to, Prime. I'm sorry, I know we're about to get set for our main event here this evening, but, I'm still reeling from what just happened before the commercial break. I mean, Ken Kaneki with Kira Yoshikage and Hazama ousting Kain or Heinlein from his own group. I mean, I completely understand why they would want to do that and all, but I feel like I'm asking too many questions I'm not going to get answers to here tonight, so... Gotta be said to yourself, girl. Come on, come on. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get set for your main event of the evening for here on Prime 137. As Guts, the Black Swordsman, one of the contenders that was a part of the triple threat match for the world title back at the Grand Slam, here tonight is looking to be a part of this Eliminator match against the world champion himself, where if he wins tonight, he will get a shot against Kanji Tatsumi at Rebound. And given everything that happened last season, given the fact that what was initially meant to be a one-on-one contest between the two, with the King's Gift match that Guts had been holding on to for several years at that point, to be cashed in and traded for a world title opportunity against Kanji turned into a triple threat, one has to wonder if here tonight Guts is finally getting what he wanted all along, and maybe might be finally getting a one-on-one championship match against him directly if he can win here tonight. But in order to get that match, he has to face off against the man who was the only, who walked out of the Grand Slam still world champion. After facing insurmountable odds all season, after going through hell to get that opportunity in the first place, and walking out of a triple threat match. A match realistically he had no business walking out of as champion. Kanji Tatsumi, the electric rebel from Inaba, has proven that he is certainly in the position that he is in, not out of a fluke, not out of luck, but out of pure skill. And tonight is going to be no exception as he walks into this main event tonight as your world champion, facing off against one of the hardest hitting men and one of the hardest hitting former champions, as it were, for the world title. But Kanji Tatsumi definitely does not have anyone else in the advantage point with that one. He only has himself and Guts in this match in a one-on-one encounter, and you have to imagine it's a lot going through the mind of the Electric Rebel here tonight. And here we go, your main event is underway here tonight on Prime 137. Again, I will reiterate the stakes for Guts here tonight. If he wins, he goes to Rebound to face off one-on-one against Kanji for the world title without any kind of chicanery involved. It is the one-on-one competition he had won from the beginning. But if he cannot beat Kanji here tonight, he goes right to the back of the line, just like that. But you have to imagine for Kanji, given the fact he barely survived the triple threat encounter between himself and Sans at the Grand Slam, the fact that he had to pull out the bully choke from out of nowhere and desperately clutched it onto Guts in order to get that win, you have to wonder here tonight, is Guts thinking about what happened at the Grand Slam and thinking that he has to put on more damage onto Kanji here tonight? Because here's the thing, Guts definitely underestimated Kanji at the Grand Slam. I think we can all agree on that point by now. Guts underestimated the champion, and that cost him dearly. But tonight, he knows exactly what he's getting into. He knows exactly what he has to beat down. He knows exactly what he has to do to keep Kanji down at this point. He knows him inside and out by now, and I feel like the same could definitely be said for Kanji, given everything that he had to go through in order to make the Black Swordsman submit back in December. But here's the thing. Guts now knows exactly what Kanji is capable of, and that includes that bully choke. So he's keeping an eye out on all fronts. And really, for a veteran like Guts, a man who, I've said it many times this week, but I will continue to say it again for a lot of people in ACL. He's been here since literally the beginning. He knows a lot of the people from inside and out. He knows how to go that extra distance when needed, and he knows how to scout out his opponents. If he knows how to take you down, he will find a way to take you down. Once he has been in the ring with you, he knows how to take you out. And that is all I will say on the matter. It's how he managed to beat down the likes of Orochi back at the Grand Slam 3 in a last man standing match of all things in order to become world champion in the first place. And we're seeing it right here and now as both of these men... Oh God, is he already signaling for it here? Already signaling for the Demon Slayer! 1, 2, barely after the 2 count with Kanji, and he's already back up, already hitting 1 Demon Slayer in this match, and we're sub 5 minutes into this main event here tonight. To say it's not looking good for Kanji when Guts is already pulling out the Demon Slayer tonight is a good idea of what to expect, and wrenching the arm immediately after the fact, taking him to the ground, trying to wear down on those arms. The arms of which, I will remind you at home, are necessary for Kanji to pull off both the bully choke, as well as pull off the electric crash. And most of Kanji's arsenal, if we're being honest about this here. So it's a smart move, but just like that! Electric crash right there by Kanji. 2. Oh. Not even a 2 count. Kanji not even getting a 2 count with the electric crash. He knows he's going to have to work for it, and he's working on the head early for the bully choke. And Guts, knowing exactly why he's doing that, trying to wear down on Kanji however possible, but these two know the stakes, know what is going on here tonight, and they are not letting up for even a second. Hell, I would argue they haven't let up for even a second period here tonight. And Kanji... release German right there from the top of the rope, right onto the Black Swordsman. And really, for the word go in this match, Kanji and Guts have really been going at it. Picking up directly, I would argue, from where they left off at the Grand Slam back in December, these two are definitely showcasing why, in all honesty, they are well and truly some of the best men on this brand, and hell, on this roster, period. But here's the thing you gotta keep in mind. You give either man a room to breathe, you are basically setting up for a death sentence, but then again! Biker Jacket DDT just like that right onto Guts. Guts is right back up, however, almost damn near no-selling that, and a snap German for good measure right back onto Kanji. And Kanji thinking he's gonna have to pull out everything in order to go right onto Guts there. Really, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for trying to wear down on the Black Swordsman how he can. But then again, the Black Swordsman definitely has a few surprises in his arsenal, going for those knees right to the gut onto Kanji, and it's not looking good for the Electric Rebel here tonight. And Guts, oh Jesus, going for a second time. Demon Slayer for a second time. Kanji barely survived it the first time. Still getting a 2 with the Demon Slayer. Going right back on to the assault with an arm bar just like that. And Kanji getting out of it, wearing back on the skull. And I don't think I brought that up. But if you pay attention to the Jordan's head, we've got a bleeder, and oh Jesus Christ! Electric crash from out of nowhere right there. This time getting the 2 count, but not enough to take down the Black Swordsman. And going for, and trying to wear down Guts how he can with the bear hug just like that. Trying to wear down on Guts however he possibly can. Slapping the head and going right back onto the assault. Guts, it's really been back and forth all contest here tonight, but Guts is definitely showcasing why he is one of the most brutal men on this roster entirely. And oh Jesus Christ, going right back, and digging deep right there with the arm wrenches. You can tell Guts is just soaking in this moment, soaking in the damage he's dealing right there onto Kanji. Really, it's all just biding his time at this point and setting him up top. He's looking to deal out even more damage up top. But how much more damage can you give him? Similarly to how Kanji did before with that release German, giving him 1 in kind. And the assault from the Black Swordsman continues. And continues and continues without end here tonight. And it is not looking good. It is not looking good at all for Kanji right here. And I think you can say that calmly. But I think for a 3rd time, Electric Crash for a 3rd time. Could that be? No! I held my breath. I held my breath hoping for a free. But Kanji still can't keep him down. And he's looking desperate. He's going up top. And an elbow drop right to the outside. Kanji's probably thinking, what the fuck do I have to do to keep him down this time? 3 electric crashes couldn't do the job. 3 of them, mind you, couldn't do the job. But yet he's thinking, Biker Jacket DDT, still thinking however he can. He's still thinking he has to pull out something to keep him down. He's not sure what it has to be at this point, but Kanji has got to pull something in order to get Guts down. And another Biker Jacket, a second Biker Jacket DDT in a row. Wait a minute, he's positioning him. He's thinking this worked at the Grand Slam. Maybe this will work here tonight. Setting him up for the bully choke. Guts in the middle of the ring with nowhere to go. And once again, Guts taps. Twice in a row. 2 encounters even. It took 3 Biker Jackets to the head. 3 electric crashes for it to finally wear down Guts enough for the bully choke. The fact that Kanji survived 2 whole damn Demon Slayers is part of this as well. It has to speak volumes to the tenacity of our world champion that he managed to survive all of that onslaught from Guts directly. And while Guts may not be going to Rebound to face off against him, you have to wonder, after this and after the Grand Slam, what the hell is it going to take to keep Kanji Tatsumi down and take that belt for him? And it looks as though the champ has something to say here tonight after such a big win.
I can't lie, this has been a surreal feeling. Walking out here tonight, still your world champion after the odds were stacked against me going into my biggest defense yet. And yet, here I am on the top of the world as your champion still. And I am proud of that fact. So, I came out here tonight with a statement of intent. I guess is the way you'd want to phrase something like this. I want my next challenge to be against someone who I've wanted to face again for quite some time. Someone who I've faced in the past under not so good circumstances, but one I feel redeemed himself in my eyes, in your eyes, and in his own eyes. I want to defend this championship against you. Rock Howard.
What?
And I want to hear you answer to this challenge of mine. Tonight.
Am I hearing this correctly? Kanji Tatsumi wants to defend the belt against Rock Howard at Rebound? Are we gonna hear? Why did I think that I was gonna... Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is surreal. A man who is coming off a massive win at the Grand Slam, coming off a massive redemption from last season, and it looks as though he might be getting his just rewards here tonight. And it looks as though Kanji is willing to give it to him, but you can see that Rock is hesitating slightly as he walks into the ring now to answer Kanji.
Kanji, I don't know how to feel about this. I know I just came off a big win in my own right and cleansed myself of the demon in my family, in Kain, once and for all. But I don't know if I deserve this yet. I mean, you're right. The last time we faced off against each other, I was the heir of darkness, as I called myself. And I used whatever dirty tricks I could to keep the title you hold in your hands in my own. Even using your former partner coming in to beat you down to my own advantage. I do wish to finally prove I am more deserving of being that champion now. But I'm not so sure if this would be it.
Look, Rock. What happened in the past is that. The past. You can't change any of that now. But you've done so much this past season to prove you're not that person you were against me all that time ago. There's a reason I'm out here tonight, wanting to give you this shot. Not because I want to prove something, but because I felt you've earned it after so long around here, and finally ridding yourself of that leech and Kain. I'm giving you this chance because you are Rock fucking Howard, and you have earned it more than enough by this point. So I ask you again, will you face me at Rebound for my ACL World Championship?
Kanji, I understand you're trying to be nice, and you're wanting to believe in me. And I do want to trust in this. But I still stand by my point. I feel I don't deserve it. Yet. So, I suggest a compromise. I'll accept your title match at Rebound. If I can beat any member of the roster that you handpick for me to face off against next week. If I beat them, then I'll know that I've proven myself worthy of facing you for that belt. Deal?
You know what? If this is what you need to truly prove yourself to me that you deserve this, then okay. I'll do my best to find an opponent to prove that you deserve this.
Am I hearing this correctly? Next week, Rock Howard in the main event will face off against an opponent of Kanji Tatsumi's choosing. And if he beats them, it's Rock versus Kanji at Rebound. What the hell?